Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The shocking truth behind Hope and Carter's fall from grace on The Bold and the Beautiful. Hope and Carter are currently in their villain era right now. But there was a time when they were both seen as the morally superior characters of The Bold and the Beautiful. They once stood for loyalty, ethics, and integrity. Ever since they dipped their toes in the dark side, they couldn't escape. Some fans would say that Hope is to blame. But they already hit some rough patches before they got together. What's the real reason for their sudden fall from grace? Hope, Annika Noel, and Carter, Lawrence St. Victor, were the upstanding residents of Los Angeles. They hardly ruffled feathers. Well, that wasn't always the case with Hope. Her bad blood with Steffi, Jacqueline MacInnes Wood, goes all the way back. They often fought over Liam, Scott Clifton. Steffi was once considered the seductress. Meanwhile, Hope was the doe-eyed maiden who saved herself for marriage. She stood up for morals and integrity. Carter stood on the sidelines, keeping his head down. He happily worked for Ridge, Torsten K., at Forrester Creations. Carter was committed to his best friend and colleague. He wasn't the type of man who would stir the pot. That all changed when Carter fell in love with Hope. They conspired to steal the company from under Ridge and Steffi's noses. The couple ended up as moral failures. Of course, Hope isn't completely innocent. She egged Carter into messing with the LLC papers. But, is she really the new seductress in town who manipulates men? Ridge seems to think so. He believed Hope got into Carter's head as she did with his son Thomas, Matthew Atkinson. Their moral failings could have been years in the making. They both ended up in their share of messy relationships. Hope ditched Thomas and fantasized about an affair with Finn, Tanner Novlan. Not to mention, she was still married to Liam when she was with Thomas. Carter had short-lived office romances with Quinn, Rena Sofer, who was married to Eric, John McCook. Then, he had a low-key and drama-free relationship with Katie, Heather Tom. It's possible that Carter and Hope's villain arcs were already in the making. Read about how far gone Hope Logan is on B&B. But what possessed them to take over FC? It certainly wasn't all of Hope's doing. She had already slipped on her morals after her marriage to Liam had crumbled. She also can't take all the credit for Carter's coup attempt. Maybe it was their messy pasts that brought them here. What brought it out of Carter was that Eric and Ridge shut down his ideas. He took that as a sign of disrespect. As for Hope, she already wanted revenge after her firing. That made them think they could take over another family's company. The Bold and the Beautiful is no stranger to dramatic plot twists, complicated relationships, and intense character developments. Among the many soap opera storylines that have captivated audiences over the years, few have been as unexpected and controversial as the fall of Hope Logan, Annika Noel, and Carter Walton, Lawrence St. Victor. Once admired and beloved for their moral compasses and strong values, both characters have found themselves embroiled in scandal and heartbreak, leading to their dramatic fall from grace. The twists and turns that have defined their recent arcs on The Bold and the Beautiful have not only shocked fans but also challenged the audience's perception of these two beloved characters. This story delves into the intricate details behind Hope and Carter's fall from grace, the circumstances leading to their decisions, and the fallout that has shaken their relationships with family, friends, and their own sense of self. Hope Logan, the perfect daughter with a shattered image. Hope Logan, the daughter of the iconic Brooke Logan, Catherine Kelly Lang, and the late Deacon Sharp, Sean Cannon, has always been portrayed as the more grounded, idealistic member of the Logan family. Her moral compass, shaped by her mother's history of romantic entanglements and her father's criminal past, often set Hope apart as the good girl in the soap opera world. Hope's commitment to her family, her dedication to her work at Forrester Creations, and her passion for her own brand, Hope for the Future, made her a fan favorite who seemed destined to live a life of success, happiness, and stability. However, as with many soap opera characters, Hope's seemingly perfect life began to unravel, and the cracks in her carefully constructed persona started to show. The first signs of trouble came when Hope found herself caught in a complicated love triangle between Liam Spencer, Scott Clifton, and Thomas Forrester, Matthew Atkinson. Though Hope and Liam had an established marriage and child together, her relationship with Thomas grew increasingly complicated as they shared both professional and personal moments. Hope's growing attraction to Thomas, mixed with her guilt over her strained marriage with Liam, placed her in an increasingly precarious position. The ultimate blow to Hope's reputation came when she made a series of ill-advised decisions that severely damaged her marriage and the public image she had carefully cultivated. Hope's actions, particularly her emotional closeness with Thomas, left Liam feeling betrayed, and their marriage came to an unexpected and painful end. This was a pivotal moment in the story, as it marked the beginning of Hope's fall from grace. Her actions led to an overwhelming amount of criticism from fans, who had previously seen her as the symbol of moral integrity. The storyline became increasingly complex as Hope struggled with her guilt, her desire for validation, and her feelings of being torn between two men. Although she ultimately tried to repair her relationship with Liam, the damage was done. Hope's actions were seen by many as a betrayal of the values she had always claimed to uphold. But her journey didn't stop there. Hope's growing disillusionment with her choices and relationships pushed her into further controversial territory. As Hope sought redemption and healing, she found herself becoming more entangled in the drama surrounding her family, particularly with her mother, Brooke, and her sister, Steffy Forrester, Jacqueline McInnes Wood. These familial tensions created an environment where Hope's reputation, already damaged, became even more fragile. Carter Walton, the betrayed lawyer who became a symbol of sacrifice. Carter Walton, the well-respected lawyer at Forrester Creations, has long been a man of principle, dedication, and strong moral fiber. His role as the legal counsel for the Forrester family, combined with his charisma and professionalism, made him a fan-favorite character. Carter was often seen as the steady and reliable figure in the midst of the chaos that surrounded the Forrester family, known for his unwavering sense of justice and commitment to his clients. Carter's journey, however, has been marked by personal heartache, including a failed engagement to Zoe Buckingham, Kiara Barnes, and a series of emotional setbacks. His relationship with Quinn Fuller, Rena Sofer, was a turning point, as it led to a brief but passionate affair. Although Carter tried to maintain his professional demeanor and personal integrity, his affair with Quinn, who was married to Eric Forrester, John McCook, at the time, created a scandal that rocked the Forrester family. Quinn's affair with Carter came at a time when her marriage to Eric was already strained, but that didn't excuse Carter's involvement in such a sensitive situation. The fallout from this affair was significant. Quinn's marriage to Eric was put on the rocks, and Carter's professional standing was called into question. His personal life became the subject of gossip and judgment, particularly because he was seen as the last person anyone would expect to cross such a moral line. The affair with Quinn, while initially passionate and exciting for Carter, ultimately resulted in him losing a great deal of respect within the Forrester family and from the bold and the beautiful audience. However, as Carter's journey continued, he began to redeem himself. He entered into another complicated relationship, this time with Paris Buckingham, Diamond White, Zoe's sister. Their relationship seemed to offer Carter a fresh start, but the complex dynamics between the Buckingham sisters, combined with Carter's own personal flaws, caused their relationship to spiral out of control. The end of this relationship, coupled with Carter's continued emotional struggle over his past mistakes, signaled the start of his downfall. The fateful connection, Hope and Carter's relationship. At the heart of Hope and Carter's downfall is their unexpected romantic connection. What began as an unlikely pairing soon escalated into a full-blown scandal. Hope, whose emotional life had been in disarray following her breakup with Liam, found comfort in Carter, who was also dealing with personal turmoil following his failed relationships. Both characters were emotionally vulnerable and looking for someone to understand them, and that's where their bond began to grow. Their relationship was a gradual evolution, but once it became public, it shocked fans and characters alike. For Hope, her deepening feelings for Carter symbolized a new chapter in her life, a chance to escape the turmoil surrounding her marriage and her family. For Carter, Hope's vulnerability gave him a sense of purpose, and he found himself drawn to her kindness and compassion. However, what appeared to be a romantic escape for both characters quickly turned into a scandal that would have far-reaching consequences. One of the major reasons behind Hope and Carter's fall from grace was the fact that both characters were involved in relationships with other people at the time. Hope was still emotionally tied to Liam, despite their separation, and Carter had just emerged from his own complicated relationship with Paris. The affair between Hope and Carter not only betrayed their previous partners but also undermined their credibility. Both characters had been portrayed as principled individuals who valued loyalty and commitment, and this affair shattered that image. Moreover, Hope and Carter's relationship drew harsh criticism from their families. For Hope, her mother, Brooke, and her sister, Steffi, were particularly vocal in their disapproval. They viewed Hope's involvement with Carter as yet another sign of her lack of judgment and moral direction. Brooke, who had herself been involved in several controversial relationships, found herself in the difficult position of confronting her daughter about the choices she was making. Steffi, on the other hand, expressed her frustration with Hope's repeated inability to make responsible decisions in her personal life. For Carter, his colleagues and friends, including Ridge Forrester, Torsten Kay, and Eric, were equally disappointed in him. Carter's affair with Hope seemed to contradict everything he had stood for in the past, and it placed a significant strain on his relationships with the Forrester family. Eric, who had been a mentor to Carter, struggled to understand why he would betray the values that had once made him a respected figure in the family business. The fallout, lost trust, broken relationships, and redemption. As the fallout from their affair continued to unfold, Hope and Carter found themselves facing a harsh reality. Hope's relationship with Liam was irreparably damaged, and her standing in the Logan family was increasingly fragile. Despite her attempts to regain her family's trust, Hope was no longer seen as the innocent, idealistic figure she once was. The public nature of her affair with Carter further tarnished her reputation, and the once pristine image of Hope for the future, the fashion line she had built, now seemed overshadowed by scandal. Carter, meanwhile, faced his own set of challenges. His romantic entanglements and past mistakes had made him a target of judgment, and his standing within the Forrester family was tenuous. Despite his attempts to redeem himself and regain the trust of those around him, the damage had already been done. His connection to Hope only made matters worse, as it became evident that he was once again making choices that reflected poorly on his character. The redemption arcs for both characters have been slow and difficult. For Hope, regaining her family's trust is a long and complicated journey. She must come to terms with her mistakes and prove to those around her that she can be the woman they once believed her to be. For Carter, it's a matter of rebuilding his professional reputation and making amends for his personal failures. Both characters are on a path to redemption, but the road is steep, and the wounds they caused will take time to heal. In conclusion, the fall from grace for Hope and Carter on The Bold and the Beautiful has been a fascinating and heartbreaking journey. From their initial moral superiority to their eventual entanglement in scandal, both characters have faced the consequences of their actions in ways that have deeply affected their relationships and reputations. However, their struggles also provide opportunities for growth, and it remains to be seen whether they can overcome the fallout from their past mistakes and find redemption in the future. The audience will be watching closely to see how Hope and Carter navigate the aftermath of their decisions and whether they can ever reclaim their former standing in